Hey there, good morning. It's Mother's Day. For some of us, Mother's Day just sucks. It's not really a happy Mother's Day. One of the things that helps, or is helping me right now deal with Mother's Day is acceptance. Just acknowledging how I feel. I guess that's another thing. Just saying, you know what? I feel sad about this subject, even though I'm a 52-year-old woman and I shouldn't be missing my mother or feeling like a failure about all things related to motherhood. It really helps to just say, you know what, this is how I'm feeling, and eventually I'll be okay with it. Not like thrilled, happy, delighted about it, but there's something very soothing about just acknowledging this is what is, this is how I feel. And if you can do that with a friend, and I'm doing that with all of you right now, because I just wish someone would talk to me about this years ago. Feeling sad about not having a relationship with my mother is something I've felt so much shame about. And it's just like a big, difficult topic to discuss with people. So just acknowledging this is how I feel, and it's what is. It's what is. And that helps me come more into acceptance. I'm laughing right now because I just replayed back the video to see, if it was recording and what's up with the hair. Headphones, I had big headphones on and sweaty. As I said, I just got back from a run. By the way, I just want to say, hey, I'm running in the mornings with my dogs, one at a time, for 3 dogs. And it kind of brings me to my next point of I don't believe in wallowing in negative emotions. I think acknowledging them, being truthful about it, like that brings in some breathing space. And then I automatically get into sort of problem-solving mode, which is now what do I want to do? Okay, so this is what is, and this is how I'm feeling, so what do I want to do? I certainly don't want to loll around spiraling down the drain of depression, which is a state that, happens to the best of us, me included. So what do I want to do about that? So what can you do about it? What are the things that make you happy? So, I'm going to tell you, as an artist, going into the art studio and making something, gluing some shit down. I love doing collage paintings, so just ripping up paper and gluing it down is incredibly therapeutic. To think that I spent all those years becoming an art therapist, and then, it just kind of came down to, it just feels good to make art and glue stuff down. And exercise. So I've been starting morning runs. I do green juices. So there's a lot of self-care things. Oh, hello. It's Sunday morning, and so all the churches here blow off M80s because apparently church bells aren't enough. It's true. I'm not making this up. So I keep seeing this hair situation. Really, my hair always looks like this. It wants to go into little dreadlocks no matter what. And it's another thing I accept. So self-care, what can you do to do maintenance on your physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, creative well-being? Sometimes I just feel like I'm going through the motions. Like, okay, I'm going to get up, lace up my running shoes, make my green juice, and just get out of the house. And it will seem sometimes like this is having absolutely no effect, or maybe it's having the effect of not sinking further down into the pit of self-pity. Self-pity! Putting the pit in self-pity. But the self-care rituals, I know you've heard about them. You know what they are for you. So I was thinking today as I was making my green drink, you know, Nike really has the best slogan ever, you know, the just do it thing. It's like you just got to do it and not think about it too much. Other things that help with dealing with a difficult Mother's Day or any holiday that triggers you, presses your despair buttons, is to reach out to other people or do something for someone else who probably is suffering more than you are. So I don't know, this just makes me emotional, but everywhere in the world at any given moment, someone is, you know, having an even more difficult relationship with their mother. It might be their very first Mother's Day ever in their life without a mother, or someone may have lost a baby. So whether you are thinking about relationships as a child to your mother or as a mother to your own children or your children that aren't anymore, just keep in mind, like Mother's Day, it can be really loaded for people for so many reasons on both sides of that equation. So what I like to do is call people I know who it might be a challenging day, and you don't even have to bring up Mother's Day. Just saying, hey, I'm thinking about you and love you, you know, if you get the message. Thinking about you, would love to chat if you're up for it. And that can be enough. Maybe they're not free or don't want to chat. But I just find that connection, so I'm just underlining that and putting that in bold, fostering a sense of connection, especially around women. Science has proven something women already know, which is like it's really essential to our health and well-being that we have relationships with other women. So I think even if you're not sure how to address a difficult subject, the good news is you just don't have to. You can just reach out to your friends or someone and say, you know, I'm thinking about you. And it just lets someone... I've had people do that for me, and it's like passing a baton as well. And I just think we all could be using more encouragement to reach out to people one-to-one and just acknowledge. And I think too, you know, your sisters, aunts, grandmothers, there's all these women in your life with their own relationships to their mothers or children or not having children. I mean, for aunties everywhere, like me, who have no kids, that in itself, like depending on where you are in your life or, you know, like, are you still thinking of having kids, or maybe it's too late for you to actually have your own children or adopt or whatever. Mother's Day can be quite loaded for all those reasons as well. In terms of healing, I really find it useful not to necessarily go at the problem directly. And that's why I think it's so powerful to consume, participate in, find solace in any of the art forms. So music, dance, theater, opera, painting, all of these art forms throughout history have been like medicine for people. In some cultures still, the medicine healers of indigenous cultures are using song and dance and drumming and theater and art making in so many ways to heal the spirit and mend the soul and navigate these difficult passages that happen to anyone who's alive. You know, we're going to have grief, we're going to have disappointments, we're going to have things that we think we can't live through for whatever reason. And speaking of narrow passageway in the arts, I think another really important link to that, where you can find healing but not necessarily be dragging your ass to therapy, is to immerse yourself in ancient myths and the archetypes. So I think arts and archetype studies, stories from the old cultures can really help us so much. Storytelling, thank goodness for poets and storytellers and writers. Reading someone's memoir about a subject related to motherhood or loss, that can be so helpful. I'm reading a book right now about the goddess Artemis, also known as Diana. And it's actually really how she was brought up and her mythology of being raised without parents and how she becomes this strong sort of warrior woman. So all these things, animals as well, there's another A word. So art, archetype, and animal. So humans are mammals, and just looking at how other mammals are dealing with their young. In the Artemis stories, there are stories about the mother bear energy. So I think drawing from other cultures, other practices, stories, dig deep into these resources. They're available for you. They're all over the place, thank goodness. And we can use all of these as tools to help mend our psyche and spirit when we're suffering. So by animals, I mean that really literally. I have one of my 3 dogs sitting right under my chair, Rocky. He always loves to be wherever I am working. It's so interesting. Like if I'm writing, he's right there. If I'm in the painting studio, he's right there. So giving love to furry friends, whether they're yours or someone else's, is also so incredibly nurturing. Just reading a book and saw a little song lyric in it from a long time ago. I don't know the song, but it goes something like, focus on the donut and not the hole. And it just really struck me. It's, if we get what we're focusing on and we are what we're thinking about, which lots of psychological and spiritual teachers talk about and teach, and that philosophy has really helped me so much. But what is good, what is wonderful, what's amazing, and what is working, and to put your focus on that and take your focus off what's grieving you so much and what's sad. And so I think all these things together are just simple practices that you can put in place, that you can share with each other. And I think, to acknowledge too, Mother's Day was invented by, I think, a card company as a marketing ploy to sell more cards. And even so, we're all buying into it, and we all feel these strong feelings about it on this day. So if your Mother's Day sucks for whatever reason, you don't have to suffer needlessly. And you definitely are not alone. You're not alone. And I'm thinking of you. I'm sending you love and encouragement, and a hope that you will use whatever pain that you're in right now to create something beautiful or wonderful or meaningful for yourself. The world needs more of that. Okay. Cheers to you.